Every week, I talk to women who built amazing results in their business, but they're still stuck on trying to turn that process or their method into something that they can actually scale. They know what they do, they are getting some phenomenal results, but explaining it, teaching it, or selling the process behind the results, that's a whole other story. And that's because a lot of what they do is living in their head. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact 5-step method that I use with my clients to pull out, organize, and name their signature framework so they can teach it, sell it, and scale it without overthinking it or starting from scratch. Let's get started. So in one of my previous videos, we talked about what a framework actually is and why it's key to creating a signature offer that is teachable, scalable, and most importantly, saleable. So before you begin mapping out the steps to your process, you want to get crystal clear on the transformation. This is actually one of the first mistakes that people make. They will go straight to naming their steps or choosing some type of clever acronym before they have anchored the actual outcome that their offer delivers. So we're going to pause and do that. We're going to do that first because every framework starts and ends with the result. So I want you to ask yourself, number one, what becomes truer for your client after they have gone through your offer? Number two, what are they finally able to do, know, feel, or say yes to that they couldn't beforehand? And number three, what are they free from now, mentally, emotionally, practically? So let me give you a few examples of this. So let's say you help women leave toxic 9-to-5s to launch their own consulting business. The transformation isn't business consulting. It is freedom from micromanagement. It's confidence in their skills, abilities, and expertise. It's an income plan that's both sustainable and self-directed because now it's built around their peace, their purpose, and their personal power. Another example is if you help high-functioning women to finally stop overspending and feel safe with their money. The transformation isn't financial literacy. It's relief from financial shame. It's permission to thrive without guilt. It's control over her money, her choices, and her future, even when life feels a bit messy. And finally, let's say you help busy moms get out of debt while still affording joy. So the transformation will be peace, power, and control over their money. So as you can see, you do not want to build your framework about what you like to teach. And you also don't want to build it reactively based on what your clients or your audience are asking for. You don't even want to build around the steps of how you do what you do. You want to first get crystal clear on the transformation. That's number one. And then you begin building around the results your clients want, the system that's required to get them there, and what your offer promises. Because your framework is really built to deliver that, right? Step by step, because people aren't buying frameworks, they are buying outcomes. And your framework is just the bridge. So once you're clear on the transformation, then you can begin mapping out the journey that it takes to get there. And that journey becomes the bones of your framework, okay? You are identifying the core shifts your client must go through to reach their desired result, what has to happen, in what order, and why it matters. And these become your pillars or your phases or stages or core areas of focus. And you want to ask yourself, what has to happen first? Why can't it be skipped? Or what can be skipped? Or what needs to shift before they're ready for that next level? And what foundational pieces have to be in place in order to deliver the result? You're not brain dumping everything that you teach. So this is not a brain dumping exercise. You are naming 3 to 5 strategic milestones that carry the transformation, which then makes your signature method repeatable, teachable, scalable, and saleable. So let me give you an example with my own signature system, Serve, Sale, Scale. And this is just an overview, okay? It's a 4-month program, but this training and my entire business is built on these 3 powerful phases. So let me bring that up for you. So our first phase is Serve, and this is where we design and structure your signature group coaching program that's aligned, scaled, and rooted in your framework, which we help you design. It becomes the anchor that your entire business model is built from and what we use to clarify how other offers like your one-on-ones, courses, intensive, and digital products support and scale from this core offer. And it forms a strategic, streamlined product suite. So we really position your group program as the center so that every other offer has a place, a purpose, and a path forward. Sell is where we build a hybrid sales system that supports both live and evergreen selling. Think live launching with webinars and also automated funnels, warm audience pathways to eliminate some of that launch fatigue. And then finally, scale, which is my favorite. This is where we optimize your product suite by locking in your backend systems. And we've been doing some pretty sweet stuff with AI, with bots, as well as agents to really automate the parts that drain you. So we optimize your delivery and we build a retention based model so you stop leaking revenue and start stacking it. So each phase walks our clients through the next layer of transformation sequentially, right? And once your phases or pillars are mapped out, you'll have the same foundation to build on. So whether that is a course, a coaching program, your product suite, or your entire business strategy, you got it. Because each one moves the client forward. It sets up the next, and the end result is a clear client-centered system that delivers results. And when your framework follows a milestone map, you stop over-explaining, you start showing up with clarity, and you give your clients the direction that they have been yearning for. So next, you're going to take each phase and break them up into smaller actionable steps. Do you see how I went over what we will cover in each phase of Serve Sales Scale? That. What's happening in each stage for your client to move forward? What do they need to do? What decisions do they need to make? What deliverables or shifts need to be completed before they can move on? And these micro steps are what shape your program structure, your client onboarding, service delivery, content themes, sales messaging, funnel strategy. These are things that must be done in order to carry the transformation forward, whether you're teaching, coaching, consulting, or delivering services. Because when your framework can be executed, repeated, and scaled, that's when it becomes a system that can sell. So once you've mapped out your stages, then the next step is to name it. You want to name your framework because it's yours, okay? It's your business asset. And this is what makes your process memorable, teachable, and ownable. Because when your people, your audience can repeat it, then they can buy into it. But when you can repeat it, then you can begin selling it across every offer that you build. So let me go over some of my naming guidelines. So the first thing I'd recommend is to keep it clear. There's no need to overcomplicate it or get super fancy or clever. Clarity wins, all right? Next, you want to speak your audience's language. You want to use terms that they're already familiar with. Maybe you're already using them or they already use or understand them because you're not naming this for you, your peers and other colleagues. You are naming it for them, the buyer. And then lastly, make it functional. Each name should signal an action outcome or a meaningful theme that supports the transformation, which you did in step number 1. So here are some examples, and you may recognize this depending on how active you are in the online space right now. But you can make it action-based, like attract, convert, retain. You can make it outcome-based, like booked and banked. You can make it themed based, the seen and paid method, or like me, the branded system based, like Serve Sales Scale. So this step right here, the naming step, is where your framework will shift from like a set of generic action steps into that ownable, branded, bankable asset. Because a name framework signals ownership, and ownership builds authority. And you'll start hearing other people say, oh, this is Nativa's framework, right? Obviously, you insert my name for yours, but that's what you want because you really are walking them through your proven process that's designed to deliver them results. So once your framework is mapped out, named, it is time to put that thing into action. And you need to see where it actually works and where it needs tightening. So you want to ask yourself after delivery, where do people slow down or check out? What part feels clunky when you're teaching or guiding it? Are clients skipping steps or rushing results, or do they need too much clarification about something? The best feedback will be from your clients when they're actually working through your framework. They allow you to validate what gets results. And actually, a quick tip is to build a feedback loop. Add a checkpoint inside of your offer, like a midpoint reflection or a post-module check-in or survey to see what is clicking and what's confusing. And then use that real-time data to sharpen how you teach and guide people through your framework. Because your first version will not be the last one. It is literally just the ground floor. So I often tell people to work through about 1 to 3 cycles, tighten it up, and then go full force with it. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Your signature framework is not just a list of steps or a cute name. that you threw together. It is a real system, your system, and it's designed to lead your clients through a clear, powerful, and specific result. Okay. And that's why you start with what? You start with the transformation. You map out the real outcome that your offer delivers. You break that into key phases that carry the results, and then outline what needs to happen inside of each one so that your clients move forward fully knowing exactly what they're getting, how you will get them there, and why your process works. And when that happens, then your framework will stop being something that you're trying to explain. Okay. It becomes the engine behind your offer, your messaging, your content, your entire business model. And if you've been standing in your brilliance or maybe sitting in your brilliance and second guessing whether you have something that is clear enough to sell, or maybe you've been trying to figure out how to turn what you do into something that's more structured that can actually scale, you definitely need to smack that link below so you can work with me. Together, we'll pull out and organize your method. Even if your brilliance feels a bit messy right now, we'll structure your scalable offer around it and then begin building the monetization plan that matches your goals, your energy, and that long-term vision that you have for your business. Because this isn't something that you're packaging what you do. You're not doing that. This is about building the business that finally makes sense. So you can what? Finally lead and sell with clarity, build with confidence, and grow a business that actually works. Now, in the next video, we're going to be talking about what happens after you've done all of these things. The content, the webinars, the funnels, the frameworks, when you're still not quite where you want to be. So we're going to talk about that in the next one. I'll see you there.